This right here is the Chevy Silverado EV RST, and in this video, we're gonna find out if it's better than a Tesla Cybertruck. So the Cybertruck is the most popular kind of electrified truck that's out there. There's the Ford F-150 Lightning, the Rivian R1T, but I feel like I wanna pit this against the Cybertruck because that's what most people recognize when they think electric trucks. So let's start with the truck stuff, particularly the bed. This has a 5'11" truck bed. You get the multi-flex tailgate, which we know about. We've seen it before on other Chevy and GM products. You get all those different modes and positions and flexibility, which is really cool. But from an electrification standpoint, the cool part really comes to when you start seeing the outlets that are built into the truck bed. So as far as outlets go, you get 5 outlets just in the truck bed alone. 4 of them are 120-volt outlets, and you get 1 single-phase 240-volt outlet if you want to use that. You can get up to 11 outlets within the vehicle, most of them being from an extension cable, basically kind of a packet that you get that you can plug into the charge port of this vehicle, but we'll talk a little more about where that goes later on. Let me show you guys the Midgate of this truck because it's what makes this unique and probably blows the competition in a lot of ways when you compare them side by side. All right, so this is how you use the Midgate. It's, I think, probably the most unique feature of this truck, and hasn't been on a truck since the Avalanche, if you want to consider that a truck. So they did a lot to make this work in this configuration. So first thing you want to do is bring down these headrests so you can clear the bottom portion of it just like that. So it's a 60-40 split with the kind of under tunnel, which is what I'm calling it. If you press the button here, it unlatches it. You can bring it down, and you get a nice tunnel, a nice easy access pathway into your truck bed. That whole, like kind of from here to the end with the load stop up is about 10 feet 11 inches. So a kayak easily fits in here. And then on the other half, you have to open this up. Then you have to lift up that tab, which actually, can you do that for me? Thank you. Bring that down here. And then if you press this button, it'll bring down this portion. It'll bring down this portion just like that. So that's what it looks like with just the tunnel portion opened up. Now I'm gonna bring this back here. And one thing I wanna point out is the seat belt, which is getting caught in the way. Actually should be in this little kind of cubby here, this little slot, so it doesn't interfere with the Midgate. So if you wanna bring the whole thing down, it's a quite involved process. So I'm gonna try to show you how to do it. It's one person by myself with not too much experience. Boom. Once you lift those 2 latches, this little stopper helps prevent it from completely falling down and breaking, which I think is pretty smart. You just bring it down here, lift it up, and then place it down here, and then just kind of line it up properly, slide in place, and it latches down. You get these metal latches over here, which you can press like this, press like that, so it's not wobbling around too much. And then you can press either of the buttons here. It'll unlatch the whole thing, and it all comes down just like, I'm gonna move out of the way here, like that. And this is your load stop here. So it's metal, beefy, and from here to there is that same 10 feet, 10 inches from here all the way to your truck bed out with that multi-flex load stop extended. So it's really versatile. I mean, it's a lot to do, honestly. I feel like if you're gonna do this, you're gonna need to do it. It's not gonna be something you do every day. But I mean, it's nice that you have the versatility of having the whole thing open and fit 4x8 sheets of plywood, which you cannot do in other vehicles with the tailgate up. And even if you didn't want to do that, you can actually, we'll lift this back up here. Make sure it doesn't interfere with the seat belts, which has been an issue. You do want to make sure you press it in. If it doesn't latch, you do get a little bit of an alert message on the front. So with all this set up, push those up, you do get the window down, which is pretty nice. Got that open air experience. You see it in the Tundra, you have that roll down window. You kind of get that here. It takes a couple more steps. You do sweat a little bit, and it is a little difficult. But but for the versatility you get out of it, it's pretty cool. I mean, while we're back here, I'm gonna show you the back seats real quick. Loads of room, tons of headroom. You do cup holders over here. The seats are heated, and you get AC vents, a wall outlet, one of those 11, and then 2 USB-C ports and a snack tray. But with that, let's actually hop and talk about the range of this vehicle and see how it compares with the Cybertruck. So as far as the range goes, on this one, we're talking 440 miles of range on a full charge. It makes 754 horsepower. I was just checking out the Cyberbeast recently. That gets 301 miles of range. It makes 800 or so horsepower. I'll put the exact number here because I'm not recalling off the top of my head. That gets a 0 to 60 time in the 2 seconds. In the 2-second range, this one gets it in the 4.5-second range because this thing weighs 9,000 pounds. It is very heavy, but there's some pros and cons to that, which we'll talk about when it comes to the build of this vehicle. It is not an exoskeleton like the Cybertruck. It actually has body panels and actually has a hybrid kind of that unibody plus that kind of that chassis that you get from the battery pack, that Ultium platform that they do run it on. Similar to a Cybertruck, you also get rear wheel steering. You don't get a steer by wire system, but you do get rear wheel steering to help maneuverability, and it does help a lot when helping this turn, park, and honestly, I think it's a big benefit to dealing with a bigger vehicle like this. But let's hop on the inside and see what amenities you get in the Silverado EV. All right, inside, I want to start with these seats. These are like your nicer equipped seats because they're heated, ventilated, perforated leather. You get nice red and blue piping with the stitching around here. It also kind of gives Spider-Man vibes, to be honest with you guys. They're not massaging. I kind of wish they would have had that for around like $95,000, which is what this truck costs. That would have been nice. So let's start with the screen. 17-inch touchscreen with built-in Google. It's kind of GM's software. They're going forward with Google's Assistant and Android kind of based software, but it has no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. This is kind of moving away from what we've seen going forward from GM, is they're ditching Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I don't think that's a good idea. It's a big turnoff for me personally. The software is great. I mean, you do have Google Maps, which is really nice, very responsive. Like it is good. I think it's really good. You get everything you do need in a vehicle, minus that easy phone integration. So what is nice though is physical buttons here: fan speed, auto, AC on off, climate controls. You have a wireless charger down here, and then this whole center console here, this cup holder and tray, you can actually slide out of the way to get this deep cubby over here. So kind of taking advantage of the lack of a drivetrain over here. And then you do get a nice big console here. If you wanna, you can bring this down one stage so your cup holders still stay above, but you still get the tray, or you can hide it completely and use that. So it really depends on how you wanna leverage it. It's nice you get that versatility. And then here it's nice with the leather. Silverado First Edition, which is what this is. And up top here, you do get a digital rearview mirror, which is nice. And then right above, full panoramic glass roof. They said there's gonna be a shade coming in as an option because this can get pretty annoying, I feel like, when it's really sunny outside and the sun's just hitting on you. So I look forward to seeing more on that. But with that, let's hop onto the driver's side and see what you get from my perspective. All right, on the driver's side, let's talk about the door panel first. It is kind of, I feel like, kind of standard GM Chevy, but it's not standard Silverado because it is unique to this this model. You do get your switchgear auto up down on the front and the rear, which is nice. They just don't say the A on them. They're not auto up, they're just auto down. You have memory seats, lock unlock, and then your window, or your side view mirror controls. Down here is a Bose speaker. And then as far as your door pocket goes, it's pretty standard stuff. Nothing too crazy there. Now coming on over here, I want to talk about this set of switches over here. You do have air suspension, so you can adjust the ride height. And then you do have controls for your tailgate as well as your front trunk, which I'll just press here real quick. We'll talk about that once I get outside. And then let's talk about the steering wheel real quick. You do have a nice heated leather wrap steering wheel with your Super Cruise controls, your nice Super Cruise indicator over here, buttons for your media controls, and then nice RST down here with the contrast red stitching. You do also get an 11-inch center screen, which you can also configure it and customize it if you would like. And then up top here, you do have a heads-up display. But with that, let's actually talk about the exterior and go into kind of the technical mechanical components of this vehicle. So let's talk about the front storage space really quickly, because that's a big part of the design when it comes to electrified trucks. We've seen it on the Cybertruck, we see it here too. This one does have a drain plug, so if I take some water here, you get a drain plug back there, kind of you can pour it, and then it will drain to the bottom, which is nice if you want to easily clean this out if it does get really dirty. On the left-hand side of it, you see there is one more outlet, so there's one of them, and then you do get your charging bag over here, and then some tie downs back here. Now there is some cup holders, pretty nice, convenient, they thought of that. And then here's your windshield wiper fluid, standard if you want to know where to put that. But I'm gonna close this real quick. So if I press it from here, it'll close automatically, it will not stop. If I close it from the key fob, I have to hold it because they don't want you closing it while someone's here and jams their finger, like you've seen happen on some Teslas. I'm not gonna put my hand in here, I'm not dumb, I ain't trying it, I don't care, I'm not gonna volunteer for that. If some of you guys want to, go for it, be my guest. But let's talk about the styling, guys. This is in the all black colorway, which hides a lot of the character lines, but it still has a pretty nice silhouette to it overall. Let's start with the LED light bar that goes all the way across the front, very sleek. And it also does tell you your level of charging when it is plugged in, which is pretty cool. You have your headlight actually unit down here with your high beams. So if you're interested in, you know, learning where that actually located, it's here, not up here. Now, you do see some gloss black on the front grills. Over here, everything's functional, which is nice to see, even down here. And then you do have your parking sensors, as well as some air vents here to make a curtain, to create a curtain of air around the wheels. And these are some big wheels. 24 inches, measure 275/50, R24, 8 lugs, which is crazy to see on this type of truck, or a truck in general. But taking a step back, take the whole thing in, edge to edge, you see it kind of looks like an Avalanche, guys. I said it, all right? But it's a Silverado. It's a Silverado EV. I think it looks cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with how the Avalanche looked. They could have made this more truck-like, but I feel like the GMC Sierra EV is going that route, so they're kind of keeping it to that. You do get a running board here that's also, you know, protection for that battery pack, but you do get keyless entry and go up here, as you guys can see, if you want to unlock the vehicle. And then coming around the back here, you also see kind of this accented portion over here. It's blacked out, so it's hard to kind of easily see it, but that angled portion kind of, I feel like it gives it more of a rugged kind of built stance. But yeah, and then around the back here, I mean, everything's black, guys. It's kind of hard to see much. But here's your rear LED taillights, which have a really cool 3D design. Kind of, you know, these 3-dimensional turn signals, reverse lights, all over there. And then a side step, in case you don't want the multi-flex tailgate to help you get in. You just get one of those, grab here, and you can easily hop inside if you'd like. So with 440 miles on a full charge, that blows out the competition, honestly. It is really a legitimate amount of range to work with. And then when you go to tow stuff, which this thing can tow up to 10,000 pounds, you're still left with some, so you can go a decent distance. And we're not saying that's what EV trucks are designed for. If you're towing something serious, you get a diesel, you get a gasoline powered truck, and you do what you gotta do. But as far as the electrical capabilities with powering a house when you're off the grid, charging up another electric vehicle, powering equipment in certain environments, this is actually a pretty cool solution to those problems. Now, is it worth $95,000? I guess when we see a Cybertruck around the same price, I guess they can price it at that. This is a premium, more luxury product with hands-free driving, the nice interior, which we saw, the tech. So it does kind of command that price. Would I take this over a Cybertruck? I think so, because you're not dealing with the downsides of a Cybertruck with the way it's built, the way it's designed with those metal panels. And this looks more like a normal vehicle, which I do appreciate. You're not gonna get as many looks on this, but I feel like if you're getting this, you do not want the attention that comes with a Cybertruck. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.